So I stand here today really mourning, taking a moment to mourn for Congressman John Lewis. So much is going on in the world that we haven't taken, I think, the appropriate time to think about what he contributed to our nation, how he fought from a young man right up until his death at 80 years old. And he was a great man. He never lost his step. He just continued to fight. And what's really interesting, and I think about my own life, is that he started as a young man with Dr. King.
We will march through the South, through the streets of Jackson, through the streets of Danville, through the streets of Cambridge, through the streets of Birmingham.
A lot had to do with the abuse of police when they marched. And at 80 years old, he's continuing to see an abuse by some police. I can juxtapose that to my own life, to know that I'm standing here where I grew up, knowing that when I started out as a young person, the cop was my friend. He crossed me. If I needed him, he was there. But things have changed, and a few bad cops have made it hard for other policemen. I want people to understand that the role of police is to protect and serve. That's the same thing John Lewis was fighting for all the time. For civil rights for people, for our police not to abuse us, to protect and to serve. As I stand here in front of this statue of police, I think about how I went to the 25th anniversary of the Martin Luther King March on Washington. That was so long ago, and I stand here today still fighting for the same thing, fighting for civil rights, fighting for people of color to be seen as human beings and not to be abused. And I want all of us to work toward understanding that we are all human. We all want to live a good life. We all want to be safe, and we want police to serve us. We want them to protect us. And in the name of John Lewis, who said that this is the time. It's different this time, he said. This time it has to be different. This time we have to do the right thing. This time we have to protect our residents, and we have to hold police accountable for the bad acts that they do. It's about not just black and brown, it's about what's right for everyone. It's especially about black and brown because they have been the most abused by our police.